When I first met my friend Time, he ran along beside me laughing and playing. We soon became the best of friends and were every day together. In those days, the sun shone so much nicer and warmer, and every leaf on every tree stood out separately and individually, and one by one they called my name. The wind would rustle high in the secret places the trees kept at their very tops, and they would tremble with ardor whenever the wind approached. It was a secret love affair, and I was able to witness the greatest of passions. Day in and day out, Time and I watched them with a sweet satisfaction until one day we stopped. We never discussed why we did so, but we were so pressed to move on. Time always ran a few steps ahead of me, looking back with a smirk on his face, and I would run after him. On each occasion when I thought I might finally get a hold of him, he somehow slipped away again, laughing and running. How I chased him back in those days of warmth when he had become such a beautiful man, I still remember. But then the days grew darker, as they always do. My burden became heavier, and it was difficult to carry. I asked my old friend Time to help me, but he never would. He was so spry and so strong, but he would not help. I should have been angry then, but his impish behavior always made me laugh, so I carried the ever-increasing burden with me in silence wherever I went. And I began to walk a bit slower. No matter how Time mocked me for what he called my laziness, I could go no faster. The cold crept in slowly but steadily, and Time continued to prod me. I grew weary of his constant needs, his constant reminders, his constant busy schemes. But he never seemed to notice, or if he did, it was only with an attitude of irritation. Often I would stop and rest for a while, looking for the trees I knew so long ago. But they were all gone, felled by a lumberjack one day, after a secret conversation he had with Time in a field near my house. They thought I couldn't hear them, but they were wrong. No matter, though, the trees had been gone for many years by then. So many days came without sunshine at all, and then came a sudden day of death. All death seems sudden, even when a person is waltzing with it for quite a while. I saw Time kiss the lips of my dying friend, and his breath just ceased so quickly and easily. And I was angry. I screamed at Time, "You can't take him from me, please." But Time ignored me. "Please," I thought, "take my breath instead. Kiss me instead. Kiss me, beautiful man, and take my breath instead. Please, you can have it. Take all that I have and more. Just let my friend live again." Time did not appear to hear me, although perhaps, for the first time ever, he looked at me warily. Our relationship changed then, although if I had been honest with myself, it had been changing all along. I often felt an underlying current of anger, and I would seek to hide from Time, to remove myself from him. No matter where I went, though, no matter how elaborate my plan, Time would always find me and chide me. "Pick up that burden," he would yell with a sneer, and I felt compelled to obey. No matter how often I threw the burden down, when I turned around, it was always somehow back on my shoulders again. That went on for what seemed like a long while, but in looking back, it was the blink of an eye. Each day the burden grew heavier. Each day Time would order me to carry it. Often I would rebel, only to have Time sneer at me again and whip me until I picked the burden back up. But then one day, I didn't seem to pay attention to the burden anymore. It was just like any other part of me, like my hair or my hands or my smile. My burden was me. And I found that while it was difficult sometimes, I didn't mind it very much at all anymore. I was getting old. From that day forward, Time never sneered at me again. He never ordered me around, and he never whipped me again either. The hate that I had been secretly harboring for him, the hate I never told him about because I was terrified of what he might do, seemed to slowly evaporate until it was gone completely, and seemed like just a dream from long ago, a dream that was lost in the passing of the years, hidden somewhere in the secret rustling places, high in those treetops of my youth, each leaf still calling me in my sleep. And so I find myself now, walking alone in the woods, carrying my burden along proudly. How I have come to love that burden, that weight that cuts into my shoulders and makes them bleed, that forces my feet to heavily scrape the earth in pain, that sears my back like a firebrand. How I have come now to love and accept the pain the burden has brought me. Each new tiny piece added to it carries a memory from my life of people and things I have loved and lost, their faces rustling like leaves before my eyes in the twilight of each day. And still we walk together, Time and I. He leads me as craftily as ever. And I say, kiss me, beautiful man, and take my breath away. Take it quickly and easily like I have seen you take all the others. You can have it, I tell him. Take all that I have and more. Just let me see the beautiful boy from so long ago. Time laughs it off when I say that to him, but we both know that someday he will do it. Then I will finally put my burden down, and I will not pick it up again.